The truck's there, the muted
Yeah.
beer fridge was that. Ed, can you hear us?
Ed, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Oh, wow, we can hear you. The truck's there, the muted beer fridge was that.
Where are you, Ed?
Ed, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
This thing should be.
Wow, we can hear you.
It keeps repeating. I don't know. Someone had this up earlier.
It looks like we're on the X-Files and
Yeah.
the cigarette man's in the shadows.
Can you say something, Ed?
He's muted.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Okay.
This is the speaker that it's supposed to be coming out of, not here. So you always want this off or muted. So I did that. That's why you're just getting a repeat all of a sudden. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So probably when we go to an executive session,
But executive, just mute it.
Just
well, what
me.
about video?
Oh, Ed needs to be in the executive session too.
Yeah. So do you,
Colin.
You could call me on the cell phone, put me on speakerphone.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah,
okay.
There's no way around that. I don't know anything technically. I don't know anything technically. You have to mute the speaker in here and it'll mute everything that happens outside, you
In
know?
Zoom?
Yeah.
Are you the host?
Where the hell, Ed, where are you?
yeah, we're on now. You know what? We're live.
Where are they?
Yeah.
What about John? Is he coming?
No,
And
he
John?
can't make it.
I moved him here.
Oh.
Go ahead.
We do have a
Are we
quorum.
rolling, Peisch?
Yep.
Okay.
Secretary's report, which is not here, so I'll read the totals. Operating account for April, $167,798.36. Escrow account, $22,973.71. I get a motion?
That was the treasurer.
That's the
That's-
treasurer's,
Wait,
the
Carmel.
secretary report
Minutes.
is the minutes.
Secretary's report was the minutes.
Yeah.
First, well, let's approve the treasurer's report. I just read it. Yeah. Okay.
All in favor?
Oh, you need motion. Or do we have the
So
motion?
moved.
No, second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you, David.
Okay, now,
Now, secretary.
secretary's report.
Just say minutes.
That's the minutes of the meeting.
Right, the minutes of the,
Questions on the meeting.
Motion to approve the secretary's report. I'll second that. So I'll make the motion.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Committee of reports audit, which I just read to everyone. Personnel committee, nothing to report. Governance,
No report.
no report. Executive director, Jim.
Okay. Excuse me. I have a revised contract between the city and the IDA for the support that the city provides us on a regular basis constantly. We developed an agreement for maintenance and professional services between the city and the IDA with the realization that we could not enumerate the amount of time and effort that the city puts in on our behalf with grant writings, helping us with mapping, maintenance. It goes on and on and on and on. And in our budget, there was $60,000, and we had it split at the time between property maintenance and services.
Professional services.
Yeah, and we decided, after talking with the mayor and myself, we came to an understanding that what we would do is just be a consideration for services provided by the city that we would provide him that we would pay $60,000 for those services. And the term of the agreement will coincide with the city budget year starting on April 1.
Same thing.
And we will pay them at the end of December. And that does away, that is in lieu of the other two professional service and maintenance agreements. So we'll have one consolidated agreement. And I would ask that the board approve us entering into this, or changing our agreement to make it a property maintenance professional services agreement.
I think it makes a lot more sense. It's a lot cleaner, more efficient way to do this. And probably something we should have thought of a while ago to do it.
So we need a motion.
In motion.
I'll make the motion.
Rick seconds it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passed.
Approved. The next one is the residences. We had an agreement with the residences up at the airport for phase 2, which is the new building that's pretty well up, and then another building that's going to be built. This project was supposed to be completed at the end of this year. They've fallen almost 2 years behind because of COVID and because of the cost of materials has gone up substantially. He is going ahead. He's already poured footers for the second building. We expect that will be built next year. He's asked for a relief from our pilot for the first 2 years. We actually started the pilot 2 years ago, figuring it would get going. So he's asked, we have a resolution before you that will allow us to move the pilot up 2 years. In other words, instead of starting last year, it'll start in 2023. And which is only fair because the building hasn't been built. We can't go back to, and we have it in our name for the purposes of taxes, so we can do that internally. And it's my recommendation that we give them that relief right now and make the payment in lieu of taxes start in 2023.
How far behind are they from their original, target date to?
Well, about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Those two buildings were to be up last year.
Mhm.
They got one up now and they hope to have one up. He does have a contract, he was telling me, for materials. The
Materials are just way up.
He gave me some figures that blow me right out of the chair for what.
But if you remember too, that initially, all construction projects were closed down by the state in the early days of COVID because no one knew. I mean, even.
Well, we struggled even with the bridge projects that were going on. You know, there were some question marks whether they could proceed.
They had, until they could figure out what was going on, they shut construction projects. You were allowed to button them up, but then you had to get off site.
Yeah.
Unless it was considered a vital
That's right.
service. Obviously, that wasn't considered vital as far under the state guidelines. So they had to shut right down. They were shut down for 3 or 4 months on top of, everything else. So
Now it's been compounded with.
like
the price of
everybody else, they're
materials.
a victim of circumstances.
But they stand completely committed to that project. Another building and a community building with swimming pool and exercise room and everything. So they're going ahead, but it's been a bear to get. So this resolution just gives them that 2-year window to get the thing finished up.
How did they request the 2 year? I mean, how'd they come up with a 2 year?
Because they figure they will have it completed by the end of next year. It was supposed to be completed by the end of last year.
All right.
So it's 2 years behind because of all the aggravations.
That's all. We need a motion.
Yep.
Can I get a motion, John?
I'll make the motion.
Second? Ed?
That's muted.
Yeah, he raised his hand though.
I second it.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, the next one on the list is the authorizing resolution for Alston. We had our public hearing on May 18th at 10 a.m. There were no comments, no negative response, so we filed that copy of that hearing. Authorizing resolution, the importance of the authorizing resolution is it authorizes Alstom to act on our behalf for the construction of the project. Now, it does not authorize us to sign any leases or anything, but it authorizes them to go ahead for the purposes of mostly sales tax. They've already begun, or they will begin after tomorrow or Monday to begin to purchase materials and place orders for the building itself, which is $28 million. So what they've asked us for is the resolution that will appoint them as our agent for the purposes of the building the project. And in order to grant them the sales tax relief, we will be before the board at a later date when we finish out negotiations on the lease, the pilots. We have an agreement with the pilot actually now. With the lease itself, we've been talking with them as late as an hour ago, trying to bring together the many pieces of this, which includes the EDA grant, Street Act grant, and so on. So there'll be a constant, every meeting will have additional things to do. This just appoints them as our agent. Yeah.
I think, can I make a motion to go into executive session? I think that's what John was talking about, to discuss this further, the financial end.
You want to table this? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think there's a couple of components we need to kind of hash out in executive session. I just negotiate and there's some language in here we want to address.
Okay. We'll take it up in executive session.
Then we can pick it back up.
The other thing is the Lynn Industries, just so you know, we have signed an agreement with Lynn Industries for the building down there. And she's very satisfied finally. So I contacted, just so you know, I had contacted customers of hers, including Austin, Dave Gray, several people, and they couldn't speak highly enough. Keep her here. We need her here. We use her a lot. So that's been done.
How many employees you have over there? Is it?
She's all over a lot. She was down to 2, down to 1, but her problem was she couldn't go into production down there because Alstom had the whole place full of seating for transit cars. I mean, it was packed with a seat. So they really held her up for almost 2 years. She always made her payments to us. She always made her lease payments, but she couldn't do any production. Some of the ones that she would be doing here, she had shifted over to Salamanca. She'll be bringing them back. But at the last meeting, I discussed with you guys at one time, 2 meetings ago, said that we're going to get Alstom to get their stuff out of there. We contacted Alstom, had a long talk with them here, and they agreed that they would have all that stuff out of there by the 15th of June. So that'll be cleared up. She was very thankful to the IDA for taking up her cost for her. So
is she planning on adding employees then going forward?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's never been a big employer, but she's an important employer, you know.
Fills a niche.
Yeah. Okay. The rest of it, we can have a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, now we're in executive session.
We have to vote first.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're now in executive session.
Okay, we're back in regular session. Executive Director's Report. We've got
Number 3, Alston.
number 3 is the Alston resolution to authorize Alston to be our agent. Again, plannings for the construction of their project up there. This allows them to take advantage of the sales tax exemption, property tax, and mortgage tax. We have 2 changes in this that we will be forwarding. Rick has brought up a couple of things here that we will have our attorneys change. Other than that, it's in what you have in front of you. We can call for
So
motion.
make a motion with those 2 changes we just discussed.
So motion to accept the resolution pending the discussed edits to the contract or the resolution.
Second, Dan?
Yeah.
Margie, you want to call the roll?
John Buckley,
Yes.
Rick Angelini.
Yes.
Dave Parley,
Yes.
Ed Flights.
Yes.
We get Carbone on here. Carboni's not here yet.
Need that way.
Carbone absent.
Okay,
Carried.
the other thing is the Bassett pilot. We went through that. That's been approved. Okay, the only other thing I have is we have 2 upcoming conferences. And I need to have some input from the board as to who is going to attend so we can make arrangements, because we got one is in Nashville and one's up in Cooperstown. Cooperstown is the state one. Unfortunately, these 2 damn things pretty much coincide. The one at the state is October 2nd, October 5th. And NYSEDC is the 23rd, 28th and 29th of September.
I have an ADA meeting the following week.
Okay.
Directly after.
What's the dates of the first one, Jim?
The first one is the 28th and 29th up at Cooperstown.
That's September
Yes.
28th. Okay, I have it.
And then the
We had that.
Nashville is 2 to 5. We've got rooms, but
I did the rooms.
the Nashville will have to figure out airfares, whether we have whether we make them or whether you make your own. Probably better to make your own. I mean,
Talk to Larry.
yeah.
Cooperstown one, I'm not quite sure. I've got NICOM fall training the week before, so that's back-to-back weeks of being gone. I'm not really sure about that.
Just let Margie know.
Yeah.
If you would individually so that we can start
I
planning.
already did the rooms just
Yeah.
in case.
Okay,
Because
I'll give you some notice.
yes, the hotels fill up fast. I can always get you the registration
Mhm.
at that time, but not the rooms.
I can't make Nashville, so
You
that's
can't make Nashville?
No.
Okay.
Cooperstown. I'm
We don't
trying.
have any fun down there without you.
Well, the next week I'll be in Vegas for the
No,
ADA.
well, you're covered.
You're all right. Okay.
So those are back-to-back weeks, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So that'd be 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Take a month's
Trying to take
vacation.
in the
Trying to put me in a
middle.
dog.
Take a month's vacation, go on conference.
I know.
You make all 3 of them. You had to visit John. Then
Yeah,
One day you get back.
I know someone will be visiting.
We'll call him.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the gauntlet right there.
I have no other business.
Yeah, just to give you an update on the Hampton Inn, I know everyone's anxious to do that. We've been in discussion, they're in the process of getting involved in the NEPA process for that project. The only reason the NEPA is necessary for that project is because they want CDBG funding to help with the FF&E, furniture, fixtures, and equipment. This project, I mean, it started out as a $10 million project. Now it's in excess of $13 million project. You know, and that's because of the cost of construction. That wasn't a long haul investment. You know, that it's going to be there for 50 years or whatever, or 40 years.
Yeah.
You know, I think would be hard pressed, but they're committed, they're moving ahead. They were looking for the phase 2 and the phase 3 of the environmental assessment of that the city took the lead role in the seeker process. That was back last November. But Heather got her hands on it and got it to us. So that starts the process. So it's going forward. And I'm hopefully, Jack was working on his application for financial assistance a week ago. And I told him I'd like to have it for this meeting, but he's torn in so many different directions, different projects, but we'll have it for
I'll
our
have
June
them
meeting.
change the wording on it.
Yeah, right.
I'll find something.
We'll have
it.
we'll have it for our June meeting, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yep.
All righty.
Other than that,
No other. All right, I got it.
No new, nothing old. I want a motion to adjourn.
we'll move.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Like,
Aye.
Yeah.